Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we've got the NA monthly final grand finals. We've got Tribe versus Realm. If you guys don't know who Realm are, it is former KDS, former, I don't know how many teams Bobby's been a part of at this point, but it's Bobby, Sans, and Patch. You guys know who they are at this point. So this is an absolute banger. There was some banger quarterfinal, semi-final games as well. Tribe beating out Team Electros in the semi-finals. A little bit of lag there from Memen, which was unfortunate. But also Realm reverse sweeping Zoo Esports. There was just a lot going on in this monthly final for NA. So yeah, we've got an absolute banger here. So let's take a look at the global bans. We have Mortis and BB banned from Realm. So I think they had the same bans for all of their games. So definitely had that in their previous one from what I remember. And the Ruffs and Spike ban from Tribe. So Chester, Shelly and Nita banned, Otis and Crow. So everybody's just banning the tank counters at the minute. It seems like everybody just wants to go super aggressive, and they're going to be pairing. So Shade first pick is quite questionable from Tribe. Maybe they're baiting them to go something. That is my thinking. Or they're just thinking, okay, Shade is like the best assassin, let's just get him straight away, right? Because we've got hardly any tank counters. But they go with a Pierce and a Frank. So Frank is a great counter. Shade, you break open the map, it's great. And then Pierce as well is the same with that. So how do they combat that? Let's take a look. Also, I know the result with this final again. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone that doesn't, but I'm unaware like who wins in what games and whatever else. I tried to stay away from it. Also, I've got some games out on for once this time around. We'd love to see it. So they go with a Max. So Max is pretty good into Pierce. He wants something aggressive. I wouldn't have been shocked if they went for a, well, we need some damage now. They definitely need a bit of damage, whether that be a brawler that can counter the Frank. There's not really many options other than like the Primo or well, I was thinking Charlie mid, maybe to counter the Pierce instead, but Max with the aggression can be good as well. They need a tank counter in there. Again, there's like hardly any left, so let's see what they go with. They go with a Primo into the Frank, which is pretty good. He's a good goal scorer. He's also good at pressure in the grass. So again, I need to load up Brawl Stars here, so I get to see the brawler pool to see what they can go. But it's quite clear that right now they probably need a tank counter, but it's just who's left. I mean, Ems is left. But can Ems really deal with a Primo and a Shade? Maybe. I mean, I can't believe no one has actually picked up the Ems. I'd be quite surprised if she wasn't picked up. You also have a Lumi who's pretty good into all this, but might get ran down. The go with is Stu. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, yeah, Stu, my guess here is that they're going to try and play the long game. I don't like the Stu. I don't like the Stu. Maybe they're banking on... I mean, Stu's pretty good into Shade, but the thing is, like, you want Primo on the Shade. You want Frank on the Shade and Stu on the Primo, but is it always going to work out like that? I'm not entirely sure. But it seems like Realm really like the Stu. I think they really messed up in their previous draft, by the way. When was it? It was against Zoo Esports. This is a different game. Like, they picked Stu and Amber into Pam, which I wasn't really a fan of. And you can see here, they're just getting ran all over. They just literally got ran through, which, to me, I don't know. Like, they just need some damage. I've seen the same thing happen time and time again on Sneaky Fields, where people pick, I don't know, like tanks or something, and then they don't come up with great responses, because in Sneaky Fields, literally the strategy can be just to run in a straight line and get that first goal. So Max hypercharge already here, which is crazy. Shade hypercharge as well. He's gonna wait to try and get Stu a little closer here, but Primo's just gonna have a free matchup into the Frank. Luffy's gonna have a hypercharge and just kill everybody. Yeah, this draft doesn't really make the most of sense. I think for a lot of teams right now, I think there's like clear out drafts. I think as teams try and navigate through like global bans, when you think about it, there's an extra 4 brawlers that are banned out, and there's potentially 10 brawlers banned out. So that's 10% of the brawler pool just gone. So that changes up a lot of the meta. It changes up on what you know in terms of dynamics, in terms of like the tank counters, right? There's hardly any left. But again, I'm unsure what the really strategy here. I think their strategy here, our Realm, is to, again, open up the map as much as possible and play late game, but it's pretty hard with that. But it doesn't matter. This time around, they should be able to find the goal here. I mean, RBM's actually going to save that. Wow, really well played from RBM. And he's actually going to get the kill onto Stu, bro. He's the best tank I've ever seen. Tank player I've ever seen. Right, Patchy should have enough damage to walk this in. Now he gets the kill onto Shade. That's going to be a nice goal from Patchy. And there we go. Much better from Realm. Of course, I'll be rooting for the Tribe. I did predict Vatic to win, but I tried to reverse jinx Tribe again, guys. I keep predicting Tribe to win, and it never seems to work out. But there we go. Luffy can score that goal. It's looking good for Tribe here. Another speed, 2 hypercharges. And what a... I mean, Frank... Okay, no, Frank can just pop that gadget there and just stop the Primo from doing anything. And there we go. Realm are able to turn things around. Okay, so how do you really... That's the kind of problem here with Tribe. How do you stop a Frank hypercharge? Once he gets that hypercharge, even a Primo can't jump onto him and cancel out anything because he has that gadget available. So, yeah, really well played from Realm there. Again, sorry, I don't know what it is. Whenever I record before 12, even though it's not even... I literally been awake for like 4 hours. I still yawn. It's okay, I'll get over it as the video goes on. Alright, this time around, Realm can just easily get some bush control. Bobby, well, that's a really well-timed gadget from Diego Gamer, but he just hasn't got enough in the tank there to tank. Well, actually just kill the Frank, really. But hypercharge already from Diego Gamer. 20 seconds is all it took to get a hypercharge. That is crazy, by the way. RBM goes for the jump. Didn't get the ball passed to him, but Luffy should be able to create enough space to score the goal. I mean, Sans does as best as he can. Nearly kills the Shade. If he... Actually, I don't think... Even if it kills Shade, it would have mattered. But 1-1 here. This is like the fastest game of Brawl ever. This is what we love to see. We love the fast-paced games from NA. This time around, Sans is looking for an opportunity to score here. I mean, Luffy gets a great kill onto Patchy, and now he's going for the flank. Sans tries to deal with Shade accordingly, but, I mean, RBM, Diego Gamer, just too much in the tank here, and RBM should be able to just walk that one in with a gadget as well. GG's, well played. That was beautiful from Tribe. That was just so incredibly fast-paced. It could have gone either way. Let's jump into the next one. Right, guys, jumping into set number 2, we have Hot Zone Dueling Beetles. So, I have bumped up the game volume a little bit, so let me know what is the perfect one, because, again, I'm navigating some things in terms of my mic settings, in terms of game volume. I'm just changing a lot of things up right now. So, yeah, my position of my mic has changed a little bit, just because I think it just sounds a bit clearer. Anyways, Lou is being first picked here from Tribe. So let's take a look. At Dueling Beetles, we see Ziggy, Poco, and Nita Band again. So I guess with Tribe, they're trying to get the ball. But Realm, they're going to be banning Bull, Crow, and Globert. That just makes sense here. Especially like Glowy and Crow are just absolutely insane here. So we see the Lou first pick. That's just because he's just good against everything. And I think as the meta goes on, the more aggressive the meta gets, the better Lou gets as well. And also there's just that grey cheese you got to worry about. So instead of the grey like M's cheese, they're going to go with the Finks here, which is good into the Lou. And what do we pair that with against the Lou? I mean, like a bow can be pretty good against the Lou. Again, you got the long range of Pierce that can be pretty good into it. You've got like the Meeple, but do you want to pair Meeple with a Finks at the same time? I don't think you really want to. What else can I go on Dueling Beetles? Like, I need my cheat sheet up at this point. I'm locked out. I'm locked out. Okay, let's see what we go. Yeah, Pierce. I'm gonna go Pierce. Okay, Bobby really likes the Pierce. I mean, Sneaker Fields was a think too much, and you know, Pierce is a very strong bro. I feel like people are underestimating Pierce. Absolutely. But at the same time, there's also a reason, especially with a lot of the bands. Okay, so Pierce, I would again go something like a Charlie, or they could perhaps... Okay, Chester's in play, actually. I'm surprised neither team has picked up the Chester. I was going to say, they can't really go Grey Cheese, because with Chester in the meta, he's a great counter to the Grey Cheese, but I still might opt for it here. Okay, we go with a Leon again. I'm a bit surprised that Leon wasn't drafted a little bit earlier. I mean, Leon is a great brawler. I think it's a little bit overrated in most game modes. But also he's good in Knockout and Bounty. Probably his better game modes. I think he's a bit overrated in the other game modes. So they've got the kind of... I mean, do we need a bit more zone time? I think Pam could be a good answer to the Finks, but we also need an answer to the Pierce. With, again, like maybe spawnables, maybe a bit of aggression going on with like a Lily or something. I don't actually know. We've already got the Leon. So go with the M's here. This is interesting. M's... I feel like you can counter. I mean, they're probably getting baited into going like a Griff here. to open up the map. I mean, if you're really, really good and you're super locked in, again, like I know I called out the Griff last time and it was just terrible and I was just flaming the Griff for ages, but you could probably, yeah, they are going to go Griff again. And they're probably getting baited into the Griff when you think about it. So let's drag myself down here and I don't forget. Again, like Griff is a great counter to Lou. And again, if you're looking for counters to Ems, but you need like a disciplined players with you guys, you just break open the map. Especially because Ems isn't paired up here with like a healer or a Grey in hot zone. You can open up the map with a Griff, and then Pierce can also help you out, and then Finks as well. But I'm kind of thinking there's just a lot of health on the side of Tribe here, and especially with like the Leon, the Ems as well. I mean, I would quite like Realm's composition, honestly. Like, I think their drafts are definitely improving as the tournament goes on. I think, again, I was a bit horrified by a couple of the drafts in the semi-finals. But again, looking a little bit better. So Sans goes down to RBM there. Patchy's going to go insanely aggro. And he's actually running the other star power, which I'm starting to like a little bit more, even though it's hot zone. I think just because of how terrible Griff is, I think the star power that allows you just to connect shots easier, I think is honestly the way to go. And just use the health gear at this point. Alright, Luffy's going to use his super. Does actually get melted down so quickly there. I feel like the star power Leon is actually a bit too strong because that is just some insane burst damage. Well, the star power Buffy. So Fink's going to pop oh yeah, I forgot about Ems. I'm an idiot. I forgot about Ems. Ems is one of the best counters to a Fink super. Why did I just completely forget that? So like Ems pretty much nullifies Fink's super. Same with like a Pam or... The reason why M's so good into Fink Super because the clouds just stay there and like you can continuously get that damage, if that makes sense. Normally you just get that couple of damage ticks, but it just lingers there and it deals so much damage. So yeah, that's why they're probably gone with the M's here. I'm an idiot. Right, Bobby is starting to get some taps onto RBM. He's going to get pretty weak, but yeah, and the M's behind the wall is pretty hard to stop. And again, this Leon gadget is just proving too difficult, too much pressure on the zone. And I feel like the only zone time brawler they've really got here is this Fink super, whilst they've got like the Tribe got a Lou super, they got Leon coming in with hypercharge here. He's going to find that kill onto the Pierce, and it's just looking like a Tribe win at the moment. So looking very, very strong so far, Tribe. They're going to get the slow onto, well, just get a kill onto Patchy as well. And yeah, first round going to go the way of Tribe. So I don't really know what to judge of. I just think Griff is just terrible. That's just... Is this going to be another Griff loss on this matchup? Griff in the past, at least like years ago, I think Griff would still work it because you'd open up the map and it'd still be half decent. But I think Bro is just... Yeah, enough Griff slander, okay? Okay, I'll stop, guys. I promise I'll stop. To be honest, who else would you have gone? Maybe even a Colt would have been better. What about a Colt wall break? That could have been pretty nice. It's just, there's not a lot of wall breaks that you can go that are actually too strong. Okay? Bobby's getting the taps in there on the Pierce. But yeah, as I was saying, the wall breaks aren't really that plentiful right now, which is great because I think there was a period a couple of years ago. I think I've seen a Reddit post about this, and a few people have been questioning it over the past few months. But the reason why there's not more wall breaks added into the game is because you wouldn't want the whole map to be just opened up like, I don't know, just like shoot and start every single map. Again, there was a period a couple of years ago when that was the case. There was just a lot of new brawlers with wall breaks, and just a lot of the meta brawlers were wall breaks, and it made the game very unfun, right? So that's why unbreakable walls were even added in the first place. Anyways, good pinch there onto RBM. Bobby's got super, but the problem is Leon's he's just getting so much pressure. That's going to be the kill onto Diego Gamer. And yeah, this, again, like Tribe just taking off the damage so easily here. The Leon hypercharge just absolutely shreds through him. He's going to find a kill onto Pierce as well. And yeah, I mean, Pierce is a great brawler, but as soon as this Leon gets his super, what can Pierce realistically do? He's still a sharpshooter at the end of the day. I mean, you can't really knock back a Leon because he can still keep his distance fairly decently. So now Realm have a bit of pressure here. Patchy can get a gadget in the grass. Doesn't really get the right wall break, but again, doesn't want to overstep his mark too much here. So hypercharge going out from Patchy. He's going to get a bit of damage. And again, like the hypercharge is good, but it's just nowhere near as like you think you pop a Griff hypercharge, you'd hope that he'd just get a double kill just from that, and it just really didn't deal that much damage. So Leon super coming in, stays super sneaky here, manages to get a bit of damage, but Realm looks like they're clawing a lot of his game back. Hypercharge from Sans. He needs to try and find his kill onto Diego Gamer. Diego Gamer is one shot. Now 4% is all that's in it. Luffy is going for the flank. He does find a kill. Ems coming in as well. Ems goes down, and it's looking like Realm are going to clutch this one up. Okay. Looking pretty nice there. I mean, they just needed to get... What they need is the higher wall break, but it's very hard for them to even get into that position. It requires a lot of pinching and a lot of patience from the Realm. The longer the game goes on, the better it is for Realm. But yeah, I think especially grouping up against this Leon is paying them dividends. But yeah, there's been a few times where Luffy's gone in and he's got like a double kill, and that just like ruins their momentum completely. So they need to really try and keep track of this Leon as much as possible. But yeah, I think that's going to be the super there. And to Luffy, that's going to get him pretty weak. Again, Leon's just proven just too difficult to deal with his gadgets. I think once they nerf his gadget, hopefully after this monthly finals, he won't actually be nowhere near as strong. But just look how fast he can get into the zone. This bug is just so broken. Look how fast bro is. That's just completely unfair, especially when a pro player has their hands on the Leon. So he's got to be very disciplined here. He's kind of revealed himself that he's on the zone now, and that's actually going to be much better from Realm this time around. They don't actually allow Leon to cycle that effectively. But yeah, Ems into the Finks isn't exactly the greatest, but Sans actually plays that really nicely that time around. Wiggles his way around that Ems attack, and they get more zone time. So yeah, they dealt with Luffy pretty well there. Diego Gamer is going to get taken down as well, and it's looking much better for Realm. They might be able to win this one. The wall breaks in as well. They've got positioning. Griff super as well. Okay, Luffy's, I mean, kind of close to his super now. Yeah, he's going to get his super now. That super coming in from Bobby. RBM and Luffy are pretty weak. Hypercharge coming in, and that's going to be a double hypercharge from Diego Gamer. Really, really clutch there. Bobby just can't find the kill, and this could be a good break from Tribe. Luffy with his super, he's going to find his way into Bobby absolutely here. He's going to pop out, not actually gets the kill. Bobby, okay, not going to opt for the super here. Needs to try and get the pinch onto RBM. RBM going to just slowly go down, and Realm are really in a great position here. I can't see a way that they lose this one, surely. 83%, 30% lead right now. Luffy's going to pop gadget. He's going to get melted, but he's got a super here. RBM has hypercharge as well. They back away. They kind of know that they can't really do too much with that lollipop drop, just giving them so much value. Bobby's going to trickle down to the hypercharge poison. And okay, Sans' hypercharge. He's going to throw this quite early. I feel like he probably should have just waited for Bobby to respawn a couple of seconds later. And he's going to get taken down by the M's. And this lollipop drop is just proven to be so difficult to take down. And Tribe are going to come back after all of that. So I think there's a little bit of sloppiness there from Realm towards the end there. I don't know, like the gadget just gave them infinite pressure at the end. It was actually pretty hard for Realm to deal with. I mean, that was pretty cheesy, but we'd love to see it from Tribe. So now Tribe are 2 sets up. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into set number 3, we have Belle's Rock Knockout. So I've just recorded this and it completely, like, I didn't click record. So, well, luckily I noticed after the draft. So let's go through the draft here. So they're going to respond with a Byron. So yeah, the thing that I was like rambling on about, which you guys wouldn't have heard, is that with draft, especially, I think I mentioned it before already, but literally there's just so many bans. It makes it hard to find a brawler to pick. There's not a lot of choices here. So, you know, like you've got Belle and Byron really that are good into the Gene. They need to pair that with, which will be a Leon, more than likely. Well, it is going to be a Leon because of Bro Sword of Future. So yeah, Leon is a good aggressive pick, and I'm surprised by Tribe banning it. I mean, Ollie's good, especially on Belle's Rock, but I think Leon is better. Leon's definitely better, especially with Lollipop Drop. So now Tribe needs something that can deal with Leon's Lollipop Drop and just overall good. So again, you've got like a Belle that could be good into Byron, but not the greatest into Leon. You've got Squeak that can destroy the gadget. You've got Angela with a Pierce gadget as well. Again, not the best into Leon, but just to destroy that gadget every single time. Seriously, it's worth just picking a brawler just to destroy his gadget. So they're going to go with a Squeak, which is pretty good. But now Tribe have a glaring weakness in their composition. Glaring. Gene and Squeak. So Both of them are on the low side of DPS, so what they need, and they're not aggressive as well. I mean, you don't need aggressive brawler all the time in Belle's Rock, but just to make sure that you don't get countered by a control last pick. So the thing is, they've got Jean, they've got Squeak, they need damage, they need aggression. So they could go with like a, what was it, like a Mina, I don't know, just something that can get it some aggression. But they opt with a bow, and I don't really like that from Tribe whatsoever. I mean, what could they have gone? I don't realistically know completely. I mean, even a Meeple I would have preferred, because at least Meeple can knock back if there was any aggro. I just don't really like the bow at all. I just don't like the bow in the meta really right now, because, I mean, he's maybe like a good counter to some brawlers later on in the draft, like they've tried here. And I guess knockout is normally super passive, so you can keep your distance and you shouldn't be as vulnerable. But the Daryl last pick I just love from Realm. I didn't quite predict it in my other rerun, but I thought, yeah, something like aggressive. Like Tribe just left the door open to it. A few archetypes here. Tribe could have gone with like a Tick or a Sprout or a different thrower. Or they could have just gone something aggressive. They literally had two choices here. Really, I think Tribe were just scrambling on that 5th pick. You can see that RBM is a bit frustrated. They just couldn't really find the right brawler. But this is what happens when there's so many bans, especially in Knockout. Knockout, the meta is just so thin in terms of what picks you can, what brawlers you can pick. Because again, like, what else was there to go? There's only really like Belle, Charlie, there's a few other options, but you know, like with RT being banned, with Brawl being banned out, with Spike being banned out, there's so many brawlers that they just couldn't choose. So yeah, this time around, I mean, it's pretty hard for Tribe to push into these guys, right? Because of this lollipop drop. And yeah, the longer the game goes on, the better it is for Realm here, because Leon can just charge a super, Daryl's already got his super. Late game as well, it's gonna look good for Tribe. And the problem here is that Leon's going to find it pretty difficult to find a kill, but with them all grouped up. But Daryl's role is just going to get so much pressure here. So the heal's coming in from Bobby. Super comes down as well. And realistically, how to Tribe win this? I think this draft is just literally, I don't know, it's just so chalked. I honestly think it's like a 90% chance of Realm winning in terms of pure draft. I mean, Tribe can win if they find some gene pools and whatever else, but I just think if like they're clever with the Daryl rolls and Leon can find the opportunity, it's just too much to deal with. It's too much to deal with. Maybe it's not that lopsided in terms of draft, but yeah, Ram definitely have to draft. So Tribe, how do they combat this? Again, they need to find a pool. They need to find a pool onto any of them. The problem is here, Leon is just so fast and evasive. He's got lollipop drop as well that can tank a gene pool. Daryl, like, do you want to pull a Daryl? You haven't got any quick damage. Byron, even with his super, I mean, maybe you can just kill him just in time, but that's your best bet, the Byron. But are they even going to find the kill onto him? I don't know. So slow as well from RBM being opted, which I don't mind, especially late game, but right now it's not finding any value. I mean, Patchy can just go in here straight onto RBM and just look at this. I can't do anything about it. I don't know. I feel like Tribe need to be more aggressive. I mean, it's hard from right because they can't keep track of the Leon all of the time, but they just need to be super aggressive and try and not get it to the end game. That's the only way they can win this. So yeah, I don't know what else can you really say about this. Again, I'm just seeing so many heavy outdrafts since these global bans. Kind of crazy. Right. So Leon Gadget is again just being pretty annoying here on the side of Realm. And they're just going to look to chip forward and just defend the Daryl. Again, like the strategy here absolutely has to be, I know it's hard to push into these guys, but it has to be, okay, well, Daryl takes 30 seconds to get his super. We need to push the other two players as quickly as possible. They need to go in faster. And right now, they're just playing it so passive. I don't get what their strategy really is right now. Again, I think maybe they're just waiting for Diego Gamer to find the kill. But yeah, I don't really like the slow gadget choice either from RBM. I was thinking the snipe gadget's just better. It gets the Leon gadget down immediately. You could also maybe like find a good snipe onto the Byron with that extra damage. I don't know. I just don't like this choice. So Patchy's going to get healed up here. Double heal in from Bobby. He's actually going to go down, but a lot of them are weak. I don't think that was like the greatest roll in the world there from Patchy. I think it was a bit too early, but Bobby might be able to clutch this up here. 90 health. Wow. Okay, that was insanely close. Insanely close. Yeah, I think the Darrow roll was a bit too early. Like, give it, I don't know, 5 seconds or something. Anyways, Realm have all their supers now. Patchy's going to go onto the Squeak. I think Squeak is the target that he wants to go for every single time. And there we go. We're going to win that round. Much better there. Much better. The second someone is out of position, they're just cooked. They are literally cooked. And I mean, Bowmines might help them out a little bit here. Tripwire. Because if Tripwire is used effectively, you can actually... so say, if Luffy pushes back and then Darrow's rolling onto him, you can gadget and you can stun him if used right. So Sand's going to go weak. He's actually going to get taken down there. Now, this isn't looking good for Realm at all. At all. Let's see if Patchy can stay alive. No. Okay. So I don't know what really happened to Realm there. I mean, this is literally unwinnable for Bobby. Okay, this is not looking good. This is really not looking good. Hypercharge might... I mean, yeah, he can't win this. It's impossible. Just let it go, Bobby. I know you're trying your best, but let it go at this point. All right. So now Tribe are 1 game away from the full sweep. And I don't even know how that happened. I think, again, it wasn't sloppy from Realm, but I just think they need to pick the opportunity a little bit better. Again, it is an outdraft, but they've still got to pick their moments pretty well. If they're going too early or... they don't find the trade when Patchy goes in, you know, Tribe are just going to win. They're a good enough team to make sure that they stay alive there. So, yeah, I don't know what really happened. Well, I think Sans got tripped over by the mines. I don't think he saw them being placed was probably what happened there. So, good from Luffy in the end, actually. So, now Tribe are being more aggressive. This is more like it. Be more aggressive. You've got to try and find a killer or get pressure as quickly as possible here, surely. Surely they've got to try and find something. So now they've got to push back a little bit here because of the Leon gadget. And Patchy is about ready to get that super. So all in all, they didn't really accomplish too much. They got a bit of map control. They didn't really find a kill or any value that they were looking for. And now they're forced back into spawn already here. So again, I think the strategy here from Only Realm is just to sit back, wait for an opportunity to roll in. The later it is in the game, probably the better. They probably don't want the gas to fully close in when Darrow's rolling it in, to be fair, but they definitely want to go in now. So Patchy's going to start one roll. They're all cuddled up into the back here. That's going to allow Byron to just get a beautiful splash, and that's more like it from Realm. That is definitely some better synergy going on. But the problem here is Gene now has pull. That makes the roll and the pressure a little bit harder to get. But again, I don't think Gene can really pull with Darrow. So yeah, Leon's got super. Darrow has he got super now? Yeah, I think he's got super and hypercharge. So this is just even better for Realm here. I don't know how Tribe really... again, I don't know how they do anything. I don't know how they even won a game in his sets, to be honest. But Gene Pool might be able to bring them something. The passive gadgets are working a bit better here from Only Realm here. Gadgets in the back just making it a lot harder to know when Darrow goes in and out of this grass. So again, we're just kind of waiting for that moment right here. I mean, yeah, this is just knockout. We're just waiting for the gas to close in. We're waiting for the action to happen, it seems, right now. So now we're starting to push in a little bit here. Gadget from Leon is coming in. And Patchy's going to roll in with his hypercharge. Just one roll. Second roll is going to time that beautifully with his Sands. Gadget coming down from Bobby. Sands going to pop hypercharge. Luffy does actually get a stun onto Bobby, but Sands stays alive perfectly there. The hypercharge, just beautiful work from Realm. Yeah, you got to, I mean, you got to put your hands up and just say that was a good outdraft. I mean, Tribe actually played well in the end, but I think, again, once Patchy just got some good pressure, the pinch in with Byron with the super, and Leon, it's good teamwork there from Realm. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into set number 4, we have Heist Safe Zone. So the bands are Melody, Penny, Colt, Bull, Crow, and Chuck. So in terms of aggro picks, there's not really a lot. There's only really like Kaze left. And one thing that I'm unsure that teams don't like, I don't know why teams don't go like Otis or I was trying to think of the other brawler. There's like another brawler that people just don't go, okay, we're going to pick up the Otis. So Otis is like such a great defender. There's always this rock, paper, scissors that goes on in safe zone, right? With Otis and then a different mid. So this actually leaves the floor open for only Realm to pick like a mid that can counter the Otis. So like a Belle, like a Byron. But then they haven't got the greatest defense. So again, it's like this rock, paper, scissors. Okay, well, Belle beats out Otis, but then you can't defend against some aggression. So I'm wondering if we're going to leave Kaze open to later on. But then if they don't pick up Kaze, then it leaves it open for Tribe to get. So we're going to go with a Kaze here. So again, this is one thing that annoys me. Just one thing that people should probably learn overall in draft. Again, I'm not like the greatest drafter in the world, but when people go in my streams, I don't know, it's probably rage bait a lot of the time, but it's like, why are you picking Kaze, or why are you picking something aggro into a tank counter? Well, a lot of the time you still need aggression. It doesn't matter even if the opponent has 2 tank counters. Sometimes you still need to create pressure, right? Especially in a game mode like Heist, you need someone that can deal pressure, get onto the enemy safe, and allow for your team to follow up and get kills. If you're just constantly, this is very, very good for ranked knowledge as well. If you're just constantly defending all of the time, the enemy team's just constantly getting pressure, how are you going to deal damage to the safe? It's just common sense, right? So this is why you see Kaze being picked early on here. So honestly, what aggro do they have left? They probably only have Daryl left. Really, when you think about it, in terms of like good aggro damage. Yeah, you've got Daryl, you've got... what else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, but to go with a Daryl, I mean, what else could you go? I mean, BB's globally banned as well. You've got maybe like a Carl they could have gone instead. I mean, Carl could have been interesting. I mean, he's not really the greatest into the Kaze. But, yeah, I mean, with Bull being banned out as well, they have to go with a Daryl here, it seems. So, Globert, Daryl, and Otis. It seems like they have a good composition together. I would probably go with like an 8-bit or, I don't know, something like a Pierce or something damage-wise. So, going to go with the 8-bit here, which, again, we saw 8-bit in, I think, South America, and I've seen it in EMEA as well. 8-bit is going up the meta a little bit, specifically in Heist. Mainly, that's the only really game mode he's going to be played in. So, the reason why 8-bit's good is, again, a good defender. He can also turn his damage into his defense into offense through charging his super. So, yeah, I like Realm's composition here, mainly because they've got the better assassin, well, like damage dealer. They've got the Belle into the Otis, and they have like, well, it depends. Otis is a good shutdown. I want to see how Globert works on this map, because theoretically I feel like a Belle should be able to counter a Globert well enough. And you can see here the early pressure is going to go on the side of Realm. The thing is, Globert can just stay tethered to them pretty easily here. So RBM's going to get that deficit back straight the way here. And the mid controls are actually going to be pretty fierce on the side of Tribe, because they've just got this constant connection going on with Glowy. That's actually a great pinch there from Bobby that time around. Okay, so 8-bit turret is getting ready to be thrown here. It's going to be hard for them to shut down RBM with just a Belle. This is the thing that I'm kind of worried about. Let me drag this down, by the way, because I'm blocking the percentages. Good job I noticed there. Okay, so super going down from Sans is going to allow a bit of pressure, but yeah, RBM's going to get onto it safe, and basically another shield being depleted. So far, it's looking good for Tribe. I don't think Realm have figured out their strategy with this game yet. I mean, the 8-bit turret in the middle, I think 8-bit has to defend most of the time and just allow Sans to try and push in on his own, and eventually they should be able to get some pressure here. So Sans is going to pop his super here. You know, it's going to allow them to get close. RBM's going to go with a wide super. That's going to allow him to get a bit more damage. Maybe not as good as he would have wanted there. Luffy pops Hypercharge. Doesn't get Sans, but stuns Patchy instead. And Realm finally have some pressure here. So Bob's going to get some chip damage onto the safe. They've got to try. They've got to be careful of this RBM roll, because he can just roll over that water and get instant pressure. But the 8-bit turret set up. Hypercharge here from Bobby. Looking pretty good for Realm. RBM's going to get his super eventually. He's going to find the kill onto Sans. Sans doesn't quite get his super onto the safe. But the good thing is that only one Heist shield down in terms of crack. Diego Gamer does charge in here, but Patchy's going to pop Hypercharge. Sans pops Hypercharge here, gets the kill onto Luffy. That's going to be a bit of damage, but maybe not as much as he wanted. But Tribe are really struggling here to get out of their spawn. Sans still in the spawn. He's going to get a lot of damage onto his safe. 7% up. RBM's going to go in. The mark onto RBM. He's going to get the next crack down. Diego Gamer's going in as well. 5 seconds left. Can Patchy find enough damage? 2 seconds left. Is there enough in the tank? And Tribe can defend it. Wow. Really clutch there from Tribe. Really clutch. Again, I think the early game, I don't think they had the right matchups. That's what it's quite clear. RBM managed to get onto the safe multiple times and get the easiest cracks ever. And this is the problem with like a Belle on defense. It's great mid game, but when there's a Darryl rolling in and when there's a aggro that gets in behind enemy lines, it's hard for Belle to really do much, especially without the help of an 8-bit. So this time around, great pinch onto RBM, but do get the kill there. So Patchy's going to pop Gadget onto the safe, only 12% dealt, and he's going to get taken down by RBM. But Diego Gamer is insanely weak here. He has to use Gadget to heal himself up a little bit. That's going to allow Sans onto the safe, but not really a lot of damage dealt from Realm there. Okay, this is much better from Realm in terms of their strategy. I think the 8-bit turret on defense is probably the way to go. And then, you know, once they've dealt with defense, then they can use an aggressive turret. That's probably the strategy here. So RBM's going to roll in here. Doesn't really get that much damage, to be honest. And, I mean, they do crack the safe. But, yeah, good kill there from Patchy. 60 health as well. Sans tanks that Gadget, which worked out pretty well for them. He's going to get some pressure over here with Kaze. I imagine RBM's kind of weak. There we go. The pressure up from from Patchy. We need to keep RBM weak a little bit here, so Bobby's going to find a little bit of chip damage onto RBM. He's going to find the roll here, but I think Bobby should be able to 2-tap him here. Okay, well, that's a great damage from RBM. It's not looking the greatest from Realm here, but Realm have position. Sans with this Kaze has position. Hypercharge is going down. RBM's going to get taken down. Let's see if we can follow up with a bit of extra damage here. Another super going down, and that's going to be the next crack on the safe here. Patchy with a Gadget. It's going to opt to use that defensively here, but that's going to be a turret wasted. And RBM with Hypercharge going in here. So the next crack is down here. I mean, he didn't get the most value out of his Hypercharge, but that's going to be nearly another crack going down. Luffy goes for the kill onto Belle, tries to get into the corner, but they don't manage to get that next 5%, which could be crucial here. Another Hypercharge from Patchy. Bobby's going to go on defense. Great pinch from Sans and Bobby there. And now Realm should be able to get a bit of damage with Patchy going in. I think Diego Gamer is so close to a double kill, but maybe a bit too aggressive there. Now Realm in the lead just about with full positioning with another 8-bit turret. RBM's going to go in, but I don't know whether that's the strategy there because his team are losing. I mean, I don't think he could have really done a lot there in that moment, but yeah, that just wasn't the strategy. Yeah, what else could he really have done here? Looks like Patchy's all out of drink, bro. You need to fill up that water. All right, this is match point for Tribe still. Very, very sweaty game. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it plays out. Santa's playing beautifully on the Kaze, by the way. It's got to be said. The way he plays these aggressive brawlers are really, really good. He's getting close to his first super already here. He's getting pinched out both by Luffy and Vidaro here. So Sandstorm's going to go in. RBM already with a clinging roll onto a safe. I mean, it's still just a lot of damage here from Realm this time around. Sans and Patchy have gone to town on the high safe this time around. This is looking better for Realm, especially because the starts have been the things that have been troubling them the most. So Bobby's going to push in here and leave Patchy on defense. Patchy is somewhat dealing with RBM sufficiently. RBM has another super upon respawn, but that's going to be the next crack. Go in the side of Realm pretty much there. RBM's going to use a double roll upwards, but I don't think that's going to do anything there. That is a complete waste. I feel like his teammates probably called something out there. And yeah, his super is gone. Bobby's going to find that kill. The next crack is down from Sans. He's going to find a lot of damage onto Luffy, and that's going to give Sans another super to play with. So yeah, Realm are one crack up at the moment. The Fear's actually going to work out really well in their favor. That's going to be the kill onto Patchy, but Sans with a double hypercharge gets the kill onto RBM as well. Great defense from Realm this time around. Good juke out from the Sans. And yeah, this is looking pretty tough for Tribe. I mean, they get the double fear. Well, both players from Realm turn around, so they don't get feared, but the slow is still pretty annoying. Bit of damage there from Patchy. Another fan storm going in from Sans. He's going to try and just waste as much time as possible. RBM finds the kill onto Bobby, and it's actually going to be a bit of damage from Tribe, but only one crack. It's That's going to go down. Okay, RBM just completely well, he didn't waste his super there, but he doesn't get any of his next super back. Now only 20% in it. Sans tries to get the kill onto Diego Gamer. He's going to get the trade out there. I don't think Globert is really working out as good as they had hoped there, because Realm are just keeping up the pressure. Now the next crack on the safe with an 8-bit hypercharge raining down some damage onto them here. Sans getting some pressure in the pocket. Patchy going for that safe damage. Bobby getting muted out. Just one more shot is all that's needed. And there we have it. Realm 2-2 at the moment. Patchy's gonna go get some water. And it's into a set 5. Let's jump into it. Guys, jumping into the 5th and final set. Wow. This has been such a good monthly final with what went down in the semi-finals. I think 2 reverse sweeps, potentially another reverse sweep here. I think there's been 3 reverse sweeps already in NA. It's been a long one. I was planning to maybe do a video like, I don't know, around midnight or 11:30 or something, but it just went on for so long. I ended up staying awake till 30 past midnight, but I just fell asleep. I couldn't stay up for the finals. Plus, I wanted to save it for this video. So, Angelo first pick, Shooting Star, which is fine. Banter, Jean, Belle, Nani, Mina, Crow, and Kaze. So, what do we pick into the Angelo? Let's see. Leon has been left open, and they're just going to pick it. Leon is great in bounty. I don't know why that's not been drafted. First pick from Tribe, and then they go with a Pierce. We just literally seen Lukey on Shooting Star. When Nani is banned. Nani needs to be banned, guys. I don't know how many times I need to tell you. Nani needs to be banned. And maybe a few other options need to be banned out as well to make Pierce work. And they've banned out Tribe as well. There's no blue star brawlers, really, when you think about it. You've got Mortis banned out. You've got Mina banned out. You've got Kazi banned out. So you've got maybe like Jay Young that can work to get the blue star, which they might opt for here. So if we go with a Byron and 8-bit. Byron and 8-bit from Tribe. I don't really like that. So this leaves, I mean, they could go a Thrower, they could go a Brock to open up the map more for the Pierce and Leon. I mean, they're going to 8-bit to try and counter this Leon, but I don't really like it personally. They haven't got, it's not a blue star brawler composition personally, and they haven't got like a Nanny or a Piper to pair with this 8-bit. I mean, 8-bit has definitely worked. I would have preferred something a bit different. Okay, if I go with a Sprout here, so Sprout is great into Byron, and it is great into an 8-bit, and I think Leon gets blue star before Angelo. No, I think even if Angelo jumps, I think Leon could beat him, especially with the lollipop drop. I don't think they're really, well, I've got Angelo, it depends. If Angelo uses jump, he probably can, but I think they need to Pierce here, especially into the Pierce gadget, especially into Sprout and into the Leon gadget. So let's see how this fares out. I do worry for Tribe here. I do worry a bit here. So, Leon Gadget's going to get that blue star first. That's what I thought, really. Even with the Byron heals, the bug with Leon's lollipop drop just allows Leon just to fly. And, yeah, what can they really do? So, the strategy here with Tribe is trying to get a blue star and sit back with the 8-bit. But, yeah, what matchup does 8-bit really have here? I think 8-bit needs to try and work his way onto Leon, because Pierce definitely hard counters 8-bit here. Because 8-bit's slow. Pierce can also slow 8-bit even more. And Pierce's last attack is literally easier to hit. So, yeah. Leon with a super hit. Again, I don't really understand Tribe's strategy, considering Leon can probably... Well, the strategy here, Tribe is clear, right? They're trying to get 8-bit turret, and they're trying to group up. That would probably be the strategy. So then Leon can't find any free kills. But Leon's already got his super available. And onto like a Byron or anything like that, they can easily find a kill. So maybe the strategy as well into Pierce, you know, 8-bit's tanky, so he can't get a killer with super. I don't know, but yeah, what can 8-bit realistically do here? Just nothing. Bobby goes for the slow and gets the kill onto Luffy. This is just looking like a terrible draft from Tribe in the end here. I don't know what's going on. What is going on? The Sprout is just proving too hard to break through. They've got no wall break. Their strategy here, Tribe, was surely to get the blue star, and they can't get it. I mean, Bobby is getting some good taps in here. Hypercharge pops from Sans. That should nearly be the kill onto RBM, but the Byron supers are coming in pretty clutch here. So yeah, Luffy getting pretty weak here. He's getting some really clutch heals onto his teammates. But now with 15 seconds left, they need to find multiple kills. I think we literally need a full team wipe at this point. Bobby Super coming down. It's going to be a kill onto the Byron. And yeah, at this point, what can Tribe even do? This is just a filthy, filthy outdraft. But Tribe have kind of done it to themselves. I know Realm have had the last pick pretty much every game. I know they have, but a few of these drafts have just been a little bit questionable, and especially the 8-bit. 8-bit is a very, very popular NA pick, and it can work out, but I don't think it's just too risky. 8-bit strategies, in my opinion, only work when you're using it for a clear counter, or if you've got like a Kaze to collect the blue star or a Mortis, and then you sit back and you just try and play blue star Brawl Stars, where you've got blue star, you're winning, and the enemy team has to pressure into you. That's the only time I really find that 8-bit really works. So yeah, pinch coming in from Tribe here. This is actually much better this time around. After all the waffling, they find an early kill, and now they can sit back. This is definitely what Tribe would have been hoping for. But they need to get RBM's turret as quickly as possible, but they've still got a Sprout to worry about. That rhymed. Worrying about the Sprout. But yeah, Sprout has a good matchup here. The good thing here in Tribe's favor is that they at least got some heals. So although like the Baron squishy and Angelo's kind of not really tanky, but you know what I mean, can still get tapped a little bit, they got some heals going on. So Baron Super's having to be used here. Bobby is getting some good taps in. Stan's getting some good taps onto Diego Gamer, and a lot of players are getting traded out here. But Bobby's going to get a super onto Luffy, collect the kill, collect the blue star as well. And now Tribe are in a world of hurt. They've got no 8-bit turret. They're pushing into a Pierce and a Sprout. Apache is probably warming up his super pretty soon as well. Sprout is in this pocket here, which they can't do anything about him. Luffy's going to play aggro, try and find the kill here, which is doing a good job, but maybe overextend a little bit here. Apache's just going to find the kill pretty easily. And yeah, only 2-star deficit though, but they need Bobby. They need 2 kills or Bobby, which is just disastrous. 20 seconds left. All Bobby needs to do is stay alive here. Another Leon clone here for Bobby to stay alive and poke some damage. Diego Gamer is going to find the kill with 10 seconds left. This is definitely winnable from Tribe, but at the same time, a Sprout Wall is going to block them off from that way. Yeah, there's just no way they can even push forward. They've got the Pierce Super as well. Luffy nearly finds a Hypercharge, but Realm are going to be your monthly final champions. Wow, that's actually iconic. I mean, I'm really sad for Tribe. That's 2 monthly finals without a win, which by Tribe standards is pretty bad, but they took them to Game 5. Apache is just absolutely mind blown. He can't believe that just happened. Sans is happy. I mean, as a Tribe fan, I am a little bit sad, but at the same time, I still like seeing some of my friends prosper, and especially because me personally, I don't see anyone predict Realm to win this monthly final, and especially for Bobby, he won last year, monthly final last year. He's won one this year. Like the Unks, I still kind of got it. After watching the broadcast, they were going in on the Unks, or going in on OG, or in on Bobby all the time. So the Unks have still got it. Maybe I need to unretire. Bobby's still got it in 2026. Surely I've still got it. All right, that's going to be it. Well played to both teams. Hopefully Tribe will be back next month. But I'm still liking it. A big improvement from Tribe, especially because realistically, a lot of people had Vatic outperforming Tribe. They had Team Electros outperforming Tribe. They had a very, very hard bracket and still got to the final. So yeah, fair play. Well played to both teams here. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.